Здравствуйте, здравствуйте, дорогие друзья, добро пожаловать на мой канал. Сегодня я хочу показать вот такой страшный и большой корабль. Это корабль, который носит на себе авиацию, и он участвовал в Второй мировой войне, потом он участвовал в Вьетнамской войне, и по 70-й год он просто стоял где-то в запасе. А потом уже после 70-го года они решили где-то в 2000-х годах сделать из этого корабля музей. Сюда можно просто приходить и просто гулять. И чтобы зайти в этот музей, стоит только $20 вход. Но сегодня я хочу показать вокруг и около. Я зайду на ту сторону, на эту сторону. Очень интересно. Посмотрите, какой большой корабль. И дядька хороший сказал, что он не покажет. Сейчас пойдем смотреть. Давайте, друзья, идем смотреть внутри корабля. И это перед входом. Вот, сейчас будем идти внутрь, смотреть. Вот, эта табличка называется, этот корабль USS Hornet. А вот эту сторону, что я показываю, это была военная база. Но сейчас уже пооткрывались тут бизнеса какие-то. Вот туда дальше. Еще чуть-чуть покажу попозже военную базу. Ну, как чуть-чуть, там немножко есть. И вот сюда мы входим. Надо сюда пройти, чтобы зайти, забраться наверх, было очень высоко. И как вы видите, это уже действующий корабль, который стоит рядом. Он работает. Я не знаю, что это за корабль, но очень большой тоже. И вот смотрите, как высоко видно вот там военный самолет, который стоит. Ну, конечно, уже не летает, это музей уже. Но очень интересно. Сейчас пойдем внутрь. Мы гуляли там, очень интересно. Ух! И очень страшно подниматься, потому что высоко. Надо ступеньками выбираться на нижний этаж. И вот мы внутри.
70, old 70. So it's a Second World War ship, yes. And okay, I didn't know it served so long. So these jets were really flying.
И это мы внизу, дек, который ремонтировали самолеты здесь, которые летали, возвращались, и здесь у них тут все ремонтировали.
So it's a World War II aircraft carrier, and that's the battle board from World War II. It's a replica. The actual one is kind of powder blue, and it's actually at the Naval Aviation Museum in Pensacola. So that's a replica. I do believe it has the finest battle record of any ship in history, but we don't have all the awards. The Enterprise got all the awards, but they didn't save Enterprise, they saved us. So each one of those red flags with the starburst is an Imperial Japanese aircraft that either got shot down or was destroyed on the ground. 668, that's a whole mess of airplane. And all the different strikes that we did, some of the ships that we helped destroy. Pretty impressive. Well, that's how you number them. The highest deck we can go on to above the flight deck is the primary flight control. That's where the tower is, where the airbox is and stuff. So, there's a lot to see when you come here. You're not going to do it in one day.
Yes, yes.
You know, this is the hangar deck. The second deck right underneath us. You can tour the flight deck. On the weekends, you can get a paid tour down to the engine room. You get a paid tour.
We have to do this. We have to come back and we have to do
yeah.
this.
Yeah, you got to go up to the bridge. You got to go up to primary flight control. That's it.
И он сказал, это карта, которая реплика. Все японские самолеты, которые были сбитые, он все показал. И он сказал, что всегда, когда приходим сюда в обычные дни, которые открытые, сегодня не открытые, просто там так показывает, то тут много чего можно увидеть. За целый день тут не обойти. Так он сказал.
Doesn't open during the flight. I would be always afraid. Yeah.
Look at all the locks. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They make them really strong.
И сейчас мы идем к вертолету, который он летал.
I tell people
Он
I'm the
говорил,
luckiest
тут
guy on the ship. I'm the
это
only
его
guy on the ship
самолет.
that has something
Пойдем
on the ship
смотреть.
that actually flew in. That one. Really?
Take a pictures.
Oh, wow, that many fishes. Okay.
Well, you have to separate what this did in the Navy versus what it did
In the movie.
versus what it represents. Okay. It flew here in Alameda, 90 to 93, which is where I got my flight time. Then it flew in San Diego when the squadron moved. When I reaffiliated with the squadron, I saw it in the hangar right after it was in the movie Apollo 13. That's the only reason it's here. I knew where it was. 2 years later, I retired from the Navy. 2 years after that, in 99, I came here. You know, they wanted me to restore that helicopter. And I said, you don't have a Sea King. No, we don't. And we go, you want one? I know where there is one. It took 5 years. In 2005, we got it. So we just simply restored it back to the movie paint job. But the movie paint job is the helicopter that we actually had on the Hornet when we picked up Apollo 11 and 12.
Okay,
So
so-
it's accurate.
But I want to ask you, so Sea Kings did fly out of Hornet. I mean, they were not too large for Hornet.
Oh, no. The last mission, anti-submarine warfare, Hornet was loaded with them.
Is your pilot license still active or already now?
I didn't fly these as a pilot. I was a crewman.
Acronym.
I have since got a helicopter license,
Oh, helicopter.
but I haven't flown in a while.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
like to go back to that.
Expensive, huh?
So this one, the real one that picked up all of those, crashed at a later date. It's at the bottom of the sea off Santa Catalina, or it would be in the Smithsonian. So when they went to do the movie, Apollo 13, there was 2 squadrons left that were flying these, both reserve squadrons, my squadron, and one on the presidential helicopter. And they're about to switch over to a much modern.
And look at the blades. how
That's
you
my
can
baby.
hold them. Oh my gosh. This is
Marine one is still
just
thinking.
incredible.
They're gonna go to S97s, I think. Basically, an updated, bigger version of this. You'll see the lineage. Just look at it and go, oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that one.
И он сказал, что это был его самолет, вертолет, вернее, который он летал здесь, в Аламеде, в 1993 году. И тоже летал в Сан-Диего, Калифорния. И он летал как помощник борта. Вот это очень интересно было.
And before I flew in helicopters, I was a plane captain on that airplane right there. Love that airplane. It's one of those planes that you have to work hard to let it kill you.
But so this one also had a catapult.
Yes. Right up front. That one's hooked up to a catapult. The other one, you see that red and white little.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's it.
And we're lucky brothers.
Yeah. And you missed the wire some of those things.
Oh yeah.
All right, come over here and look. All right, so see that the far left tower of the Bay Bridge? Okay, right next to it is a white thing sticking up.
Yes,
Coit Tower.
below.
Coit Tower.
Okay.
On the same side, I mean same distance, but on the other side,
Yes, it's a golden.
you'll see the north tower of the Bay Bridge.
Yeah.
So all three just like that. If you're a photographer, that's a money shot right there. And that way you don't have to shot. Okay, let's begin. So on weekend tours, you can go up to the bridge, you can go up to primary flight control where all the glasses are.
Yeah, there is. I mean, you can see. Is there an architect underneath or the deck or photographer?
No, the architect is on the hangar.
Oh, okay. So what's no. Runways aren't included in hangar decks. Yeah.
The armor deck didn't move up here until before Stall flight. And that's all because of this and World War II.
I'd be interested in that one. How they bring the planes from the bottom.
Elevator. That's an elevator.
Oh, there is.
И он сказал, что этот пол, который сегодня наверху на этом корабле, оказывается, он все сделано из дерева. Вот серенький такой покрашенный, все. Это все сделано с дерева. И вот действующий корабль, который стоит рядом. Вот смотрите, какой большой, оказывается. И вот туда видно уже Аламида, Калифорния, то дальше. Как страшно ходить возле таких больших самолетов. Очень чувствую себя как-то, страшно.
It's agreed to limit battleship production to a certain amount so nobody gets ahead of everybody else. So they took some of those cruiser hulls and made aircraft carriers out of them, like Saratoga, the early stuff. So when you see CVA, CVS, the C stands for cruiser. So then they built stuff on top.
И здесь на корабле может вместиться где-то этих бомбоносителей самолетов, где-то 100, может и больше. Я был в прошлый раз, то они говорили, что где-то 100 больших самолетов спокойно садится сюда наверху этого самолета, корабля. И вот смотришь на этот самолет, и он оказывается такой маленький. Смотрите, какая большая площадь, столько может садиться туда самолетов. А вот это, что я показываю, все была бывшая военная база. Вот я тоже нахожусь здесь, на этой бывшей военной базе. Но сейчас тут все уже новые бизнеса поставили, тут продают что-то, все продажи, видите. Но все равно видно, что как будто расположение такое, как будто военная база.
Take the centerline elevator that was in the back, push it out to the side, put the angle deck in. See all these modifications that this thing, they took all these lessons of all these modifications from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. In the late 50s, they built the Forrestal class, which is the modern carrier today. Where are they going to put the armor deck? Up here, where it belongs. Okay? Protect the ship from the top. Where are they going to put all the ready rooms? Right underneath the flight deck, where they belong. What are you going to do with that escalator? Well, get rid of it. Don't need it.
But make the ship
And make the ship bigger and wider, which makes it more stable. And that's why they're 100,000 pound class, and this is 45,000 ton class. Yeah. So that's kind of the story of how things turned out the way they were.
I didn't know that the tweet was the reason for.
Yeah. I read stuff all the time and just reread that again the other day. I went, oh, okay. Everybody wanted to limit stuff, but then the Japanese felt slighted. And it's all these little things in history that piss people off and just start the gripes.
But I mean, I remember reading sort of World War II kind of technical stories saying that the British carriers had the armor decks and the Americans had the wooden decks.
Right. And they had an enclosed bow, which these got much, much later. They have an enclosed bow from the start because they were operating in the Atlantic, which is a hell of a lot more stormy and nasty than the Pacific, where it's hot.
Is that right?
Yeah, where it's hot and you wanted everything kind of open.
Okay.
Yeah. We adopted the hurricane bow later because Admiral Halsey ran the fleet through a typhoon. And the typhoon was so bad, 2 destroyers went into waves and we never saw them again. Both ships, both crews, totally gone. Yeah, he should have got court-martialed over that. And a 100-foot wave came down crashing on here and crumpled.
100-foot wave.
Yeah, came down and crumpled the forward end of the flight deck. And we had to operate this in reverse to launch planes off. There's another big story there. And after World War II, they decided all of our carriers now have a hurricane bow. So that won't ever happen again.
Learning by experience.
Lots of stories. So,
Thanks so much.
yes. Here,
No.
14 months.
14 months.
I know that the Brits made the 1 year. And,
И он сказал, что этот корабль был построен всего за 14 месяцев. Говорил, что очень много было народа, работали над этим кораблем.
We're gonna try it again. And if it breaks, you better have enough power to keep going. About 5 years ago, they had maybe more than that. They had an E2 Hawkeye turboprop plane come down, hit the deck, broke the cable, kept going, went over the side of the ship, and everybody thought they're dead. 5 seconds later, you know, pucker factor like that. But I don't know how they did it, but that pilot was good. He barely got out of it.
How do you do this job? Do you have a PTSD after that? How can you manage this amount of stress?
You got to be an A-type. You know, walking. There's guys that just think they're invincible from the start, and that's just the personality type. I'm somewhere in the middle. You know, when you go down to one of the ready rooms, we have the status board of the pilots from VS-37, I think it was, and these guys will come in and land. And if that wasn't good enough, just you know, they're always searching for perfection. So they're graded to see who's the top pilot. Me, I would say I'm back, I'm alive. I don't care what grade I got. I'm sucking air. I get to eat food and sleep tonight. You know, that's good enough for me. But some guys these are the football heroes that are flying these things. And good for that, because in combat, that's who you want in that airplane. Somebody that's not going to give up.
Amazing stuff.
И он рассказывал, как военные самолеты садились сверху на корабль, и как они там тросы рвались, и как они там спадали. Но он рассказывал очень интересно, что как они там прям выживали на такой скорости и так дальше. Садились, как там падали и так дальше. И он сказал, что эти ребята, которые просто герои. А это я снимаю впереди корабля, который, вот видите, какой вид на Сан-Франциско, Калифорния. Очень красиво, ветер такой теплый, не холодный. Сегодня тепло. Вот, очень красиво посмотреть вот этот корабль впереди, как он выглядит. Очень интересно. И, друзья, я буду заканчивать мое видео на этом. Хочу вам сказать и поблагодарить всех, кто меня смотрел до самого конца. Пожалуйста, не забывайте подписываться на мой канал, чтобы вы не пропускали мои самые-самые хорошие видео. И вы помните, что вы у меня самые наилучшие. До свидания, пока-пока.